My wife's smoking hot. Chiropractor. My wife and I have been married for 8 years. Over the past 2 years or so she has been going to a chiropractor who is a very attractive, buff, ex-college football player. I wasn't entirely comfortable with it, because honestly who really wants handsome dudes in intimate positions with their wife behind closed doors? But I bit my tongue and never admitted to being uncomfortable with it to her. Just recently my wife comes to me and says I have to tell you this crazy story. One of her good friends, Sarah, just Marco Polo'd a recorded video chat, her a super graphic story of Sarah hooking up with her massage therapist. My wife was visibly blushing and seemed very thrilled by the whole story, and my first internal thought was, I bet she is thinking about her chiropractor when listening to this story. But I don't say anything. Later that day, my curiosity got the best of me, and while she was on a run, I checked her response to her friend on her phone. Sure enough, I was right. My wife responded about her smoking hot chiropractor, who is always touching her butt and inner thighs, and how much it turns her on, among other things that husbands just never want to hear. There were many other chats that I didn't listen to that I honestly think had more revealing confessions. I confronted her peacefully, and at first she was mad for snooping and defensive, but we eventually agreed that she shouldn't see him anymore. It's been a few weeks and we have moved on. It hasn't come up again, but I still have a lingering image of them together behind closed doors. Does anyone else feel like lingering questions and the mystery of whether did they or didn't they? Situations can be just as unhealthy for a relationship than actually knowing for sure they were unfaithful. Should I just try to forget it or bring it up again and admit to it still bothering me? Also, was I dumb for snooping in the first place? Is his name John Redcorn? No, she sees John for her headaches. Hey. John Redcorn does massages. WTF is a chiropractor touching her inner thighs for? I'm guessing he's fictional, like 99% of Reddit these days. This is where amateur fanfic writers come to test ideas and collect responses they can use instead of writing their own. I thought they all took jobs at Netflix ruining The Witcher. Guess they do this as a hobby. The part where he said, Marco Polo'd a recorded video chat. Just screamed not real. It reads like mediocre creative writing. An actual person would just say, messaged. I've actually heard people who use Marco Polo refer to it casually in a sentence like that. Lol, I think it's more popular in certain professions communities. Coincidentally, she also sees chiropractors. There's an app called Marco Polo to send video messages. Also, she shouldn't go to a chiropractor at all, because they're a scam and cause strokes. A local one broke one of my patients' necks and we had to do surgery on them. A surgical nurse? My dad was having back problems, so he went to a chiropractor. It turned out my dad had a fractured disc in his back, and his chiropractor was pushing down on it repeatedly and was crushing it more and more every time, and when my dad was concerned about it getting worse, the chiropractor said it was normal. My dad had to get 2 surgeries on his spine. I'm sure he would have needed surgery even if he didn't see the chiropractor, but I don't think he would have needed to. The chiropractor caused a lot of extra damage. The guy who founded the whole discipline of chiropractor science said a ghost told him about it. I also think it was originally intended to become a religion or something. They literally have killed people after adjusting and causing blood clots. Just do some fucking yoga and call it a day. The typical injury you hear about chiropractors causing is arterial dissection, where an artery literally tears and you bleed out internally while having a stroke. They literally have killed people after adjusting and causing blood clots. They literally cause spinal injuries. Usually non-fatal, but sometimes fatal. See spine injuries by doing corrections. You just confirmed why they give me the heebie-jeebies. Seriously. If it's that bad, go to an occupational or a physical therapist, and they'll get you sorted out so that you don't have to keep going to them for the rest of your life. For real. My mother has been going to a chiropractor for 40 years and somehow still isn't better. It's nice that I can come here instead of searching online for cuckold fiction. Edit, my God. This is my first 1K up thumb comment. Didn't know John Redcorn got into chiropractic healing as well. The real betrayal here is going to a chiropractor. Those people are charlatans who damage people's bodies. I used to work for one and 100% agree. It was my time of the month once and I was having some minor lower back pain and he jumped at the chance to adjust me and said he could fix it. That was 11 years ago and my lower back pain has been insufferable ever since. Did way more harm than good. This dude should be angry that his wife is giving money to this grifter. It's crazy how many people swear by them. It's all based on pseudoscience. Biggest red flag in chiropractic care is that they always perform the same handful of treatments for every single imaginable medical issue. That is not how medicine works. This needed more than a just stop seeing him resolution. She continued seeing the Chiro even after she realized the attraction and attention he was giving her. She reiterated as much to a friend in a sort of brag and comparison to someone having a fling with their similar setup situation. Emotionally cheating is still cheating. There needs to be closure for you to get beyond it, if you can. Surely emotional cheating resembles forming an intimate emotional, but not physical, relationship with someone. I think everyone is forgetting the chiropractor is a professional. I doubt anything happened more than her making a joke about it to her friend as a passing comment. I agree. I know this is Reddit, but no one is perfect. She had an innocent crush on someone who may have been helping her back pain after probably a decade of being faithful. I doubt he was caressing her butt and thighs, probably a small touch during repositioning like normal. She told her friend about it behind closed doors, and the husband snooped. They resolved it and she's not seeing him. I would also be jealous as the husband, but this is no huge issue or cheating. Exactly like she liked the touch enough to keep going back and not shutting down the feelings. Don't know if this will help, but I'm a chiropractor. I'll tell you straight up, when I'm with a patient, even if they are a woman and objectively attractive, stuff like this is absolutely the last thing on my mind. All I'm thinking about is providing good care and hoping they leave my clinic satisfied. I can't speak for all of us, but I'll say that regardless of how smoking hot this dude was, he most likely was not reciprocating whatever your wife was feeling. Whether it's during an initial physical exam, or while performing some kind of soft tissue therapy, or treatment itself, my hands will be in a lot of sensitive areas. Especially so, considering many women carry a lot of tension in their glutes, thighs and hips. We see a lot of conventionally attractive patients. Yes, our hands are on them. But rest assured, you can probably stop worrying about what happened behind closed doors. Your wife did the right thing discharging herself as a patient. As much as Reddit doesn't want you to believe, we are professionals too. We have regulated governing bodies, and our wives, to answer to, and no one wants to risk their career or have a malpractice case on their hands. Hoping they leave my clinic satisfied. I know what you meant, but not the best choice of words considering the topic. Regardless of whether they had sex or not, your wife continued seeing this chiropractor despite having obvious sexual feelings for him. I'd say that's cheating on some level, and needs more than just an "Okay, I'll stop seeing him." You need couples counseling. I don't think this is something we can solve through a Reddit comment. Swiftly removing everyone from your personal or professional life who you find to be sexually attractive doesn't seem like a very sustainable way to go about a marriage or life, and calling that a form of cheating is pretty over the top, even for a Reddit relationship sub. The worst part of this story is that it's 2023 and the wife still hasn't gotten the memo that chiropractors as a profession is just a scam and whatever they claim to be able to treat has no basis in medicine or reality. It's not just somebody she finds attractive. It's somebody who she's fantasizing about sleeping with and running around talking to her friends about. She's a married woman telling her friends about how another guy's touch get her horny and how she wants to fuck him. In what world is that normal? This situation is very different from her just seeing somebody in her personal and professional life that's attractive. And she didn't have to cut off a close friend or a coworker. This is her chiropractor. She can find another chiropractor.